In Cambodia, there's a story of suffering of monumental proportions. Approximately, there are 800,000 ethnic Vietnamese who live in the country without papers, and the majority of them in floating villages around the Tonlesap Lake. Though one of the largest stateless ethnic groups in the world, this population is largely invisible. They are rarely mentioned in the world media. By and large, their sufferings are untold, hidden, and ignored by the international bodies. Worse, they now find themselves in a deepening crisis. While the Tonlesap is the largest freshwater lake in Southeast Asia, providing sustenance and fresh water for the entire region, it is part of the Mekong system that itself is eroding due to overbuilt of dams and abuses of waterways by China, Thailand, and Laos, countries upstream from Cambodia. For this population, the lake is both the source of their livelihood and sustenance. But the lake is drying up, and dwindling along with it are various fish species and plant life. All the while, the water is turning increasingly polluted and toxic. It is the same water that they cook, drink, and bathe in. They desperately need clean water. People who depend on the lake to survive are finding themselves in dire straits. Besides facing an array of health problems such as typhoid, hepatitis, and dysentery, their main job, that of processing fish, is disappearing. It is no surprise that this population is also one of the most exploited in the world. Their children have become commodities to be bought and sold. After all, when there's nothing left, the only option that remains for the dispossessed is the human flesh. Richard Botkin is an American Marine and businessman who fought human trafficking in Cambodia over 20 years.
We're about 100 kilometers north of Phnom Penh, in the heart of the stateless ethnic Vietnamese populations on the Tonlesap. And in front of me are my dozen young friends who just moments ago were working on one of the boats, processing fish with their hands. These little girls and boys, especially little girls, at risk of being sex trafficked if we don't do something. If we came back and did nothing in a couple of years, these kids could be gone. They are precious in God's eyes. They're precious in our eyes. We've got to do something. We can change the world forever for 1, 2, 3, a dozen of these. These young people are the reason we're here, and we're going to keep coming back. We need your help.
The Vietnamese people in Cambodia have become a primary source for human trafficking. Instead of schools, many of these children end up here in Pak, a Vietnamese neighborhood outside of Phnom Penh, known for its many brothels. Pak is considered by many the world capital of child prostitution.
Hello, I'm Dr. Mike Tran, and I've been a pediatrician for 25 years. I've been all over the world to treat patients, but nowhere touched me as much as the children of Vietnamese descent in Cambodia. We're in an area right off the lake, Tonlesap Lake, and the children here have had no access to education, no access to good health care, no rights, and they live off the lake. Their families have no way to give them anything resembling a bright future. Now, I remember talking to a mom who said she doesn't know what a future is for her daughter. Let's help her know what that future is by giving them these girls, these beautiful girls, an education. Let's give them good health care with vaccinations and nutrition and medicine. And let's make sure that they know what a future is so that they don't have to be at risk for being trafficked. These are the children who will, one of these days, if they don't have our help, they're going to be trafficked out there in the city. Please join me. Moms and grandmothers, parents, doctors, we all can make a difference by giving these children a brighter future. Please join me.
Soon after this interview, the landlord closed the school, and these children now have lost the only school they have ever known. Jocelyn Tran was once a Vietnamese refugee who fled to America and became head of Walmart in Southeast Asia. She's met many US presidents and senators, but it's the children she met in Cambodia that impacted her most. Here she is, speaking with two young girls living at the edge of the society without their parents' supervision.
Cô chào các em.
Chào cô.
Bây giờ mấy tuổi rồi?
12 tuổi.
12 tuổi, còn em?
12 tuổi.
12 tuổi, vậy chị em phải không?
Dạ,
Hiện tại bây giờ con đang làm gì?
con đang cắt cá.
Một ngày con làm được bao nhiêu?
Nhiều là được 18, 19 ngàn gì đó.
Con đi làm mỗi ngày hả?
Dạ, chừng nào có cá thì con làm.
Con sống với ai?
Con sống với nội.
Học lớp mấy rồi?
Học lớp 3.
You know, I look at them, could see ourselves in them too. But they have a path that is very unlike ours. So the difference that you can make, it will make a difference in their life. 20 years, 15 years from now, what if they become an engineer? What if they become an architect? That's so wonderful. And you see, they no longer cutting fish to make a living.
Far too few found refuge at a convent like this one in Phnom Penh. A heaven where they can pursue an education, can imagine a future. The difference is $150 a year to keep a child in school and $500 a year to keep a student in college. But these are the lucky ones. They have a fighting chance. For far too many others, time is running out. Please join our effort to provide a school, a filtered water system, and a medical clinic for the families on Tonlesap Lake. Help us give a future to these forgotten children.